Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. A devastated Chanel blames Paulina, and Theresa panics over Xander's mama. As Tate sleeps in, Brady and Marlena reappraisal the prom debacle in their living room. When Brady sides with Theresa, Marlena prodigies if it's because he's unhappy with what Tate did, or because of how he feels about Theresa. Brady insists they're just co-parents, but admits they had a moment. Still, she wants to be with Alex. Marlena asks what he wants. Brady says his passions don't matter. She assures him she's always on his side and leaves for work. Over coffee in the Demerrimance, Theresa fills Bonnie in on prom. Bonnie muses last night was a total disaster for everyone. Not everyone, Alex says, entering. He kisses Theresa and shows off her engagement ring. Bonnie's eyes bulge. When Theresa steps out to answer her father's phone call, Bonnie asks Alex if he told his father. Glancing at Victor's portrayal, Alex says he did. Bonnie means Justin. Alex has considering Justin expressed his enterprises about Theresa. Bonnie sides with Justin, musing that Theresa is manipulating him. She asks, "Don't you suppose you can do better?" Theresa returns, striking. After Sarah shows Xander their marriage assignations at home, he tells her that Maggie said he's a lot like Victor. That's why he was so hard on him. Sarah knows that deep down Victor did love him. Way deep down, Xander quips. Indeed, when they were closer, Xander knows Victor just used him to do his dirty work. And when he'd the chance to show him how he really felt, he didn't leave him in his will. At the sanitarium, Mark checks on a distraught Leo, who remembers him from the square. Leo tells him about visiting his mama, who has an uncanny knack of making him feel empty and miserable. Mark hugs him. Leo pulls down apologizing. He assures him he was slobbering, but not drooling, since Mark made it clear the other day that he's not gay. Did I say that? Mark asks. Leo prodigies if it's not true. Is he bi? Bi-curious? Had a crazy night in council? Further Hunter King's NFL Hallmark movie. Before Mark can respond, Johnny and Paulina help a cramping Chanel off the elevator. He hurries them to a room and asks Paulina to stay outdoors. She reluctantly leaves, and Chanel expresses how spooked she really is. Johnny tries to console her. After Marlena runs into Leo at the sanitarium coffee station, she agrees to see him for a many twinkles. In Marlena's office, Leo tells her about his disastrous visit with his mama. She gently tells him that he's no longer a dependent child, so there's no reason to give his mama power over him. He can do anything he likes, indeed love himself. Leo brightens, noting that bodacious croaker. Aloud. He was worth talking to. At the Kiriaki's manse, Theresa wonders why it's okay for Bonnie to trash talk her behind her reverse. Bonnie states it's nothing she wouldn't say to her face. Justin has enterprises about them being together. Alex assures his fiancée he trusts her and is committed to spending his life with her. Theresa thanks him, but wonders why Bonnie did a 180. Bonnie again invokes Justin's enterprises and changes the subject to Xander and Sarah's marriage. Theresa assumes the guest list will be short since Xander doesn't have numerous musketeers. That may be, Bonnie says, but his mama might be there. With a look of fear, Theresa prodigies if that's a good idea since she's a raging rummy. Bonnie pointedly suggests that she's changed, like you. Alex wonders why Theresa's so concerned. Further the doubtful person to expose Theresa at their apartment, Sarah points out that Victor left everyone out of his will except Maggie and Alex. She hopes she and Victoria can make up for the effects Victor didn't give Xander. Sarah asks if he wants to take another shot at trying to find his mama. Xander balks, but when Sarah presses, he says there might be one other way to reach her. As Mark performs an ultrasound, Johnny gives Chanel Felicity's stuffed beast to hold. With a grave expression, Mark says, "I am veritably sorry, Chanel. I am hysterical. You've had a confinement." Johnny and Chanel express heartbreaking confusion, especially since he told them before everything was fine. Mark explains a robotic loss like this can be for any number of reasons, and isn't unusual. It's presumably cold comfort, but 1 in 4 gravidity end in confinement. He tells them how sorry he's for their loss and leaves. A gash runs down Johnny's face as he holds a blubbing. Chanel. In Marlena's office, Leo excitedly tells her about having a moment with Mark. She reminds him he just met the man. She doesn't suppose he should read too much into it so as not to get hurt. He brings up his mama again, leading Marlena to assure him he's a worthwhile human being. She's impressed with his desire to understand himself and come to terms with his vituperative parents. At the manse, Theresa explains herself by saying they need to be cautious of long-lost family and musketeers showing up after Constantine. Bonnie says they can't track Xander's mama down anyway, so there's nothing to worry about. That's too bad, Theresa says, pretending disappointment. Bonnie walks out with Alex as he leaves for work. Theresa shoots a panicked regard up at Victor's portrayal. Further original cast member exits. All-American Xander holds up a piece of paper to a pleased Sarah at home. Xander hangs up with his aunt, who he explains doesn't get along with his mama. Still, his mama hit her up for plutocrat lately. His aunt doesn't have her phone number, but she does have her address. Sarah shafts. As Brady works at Basic Black, he thinks back to his night with Theresa. Alex interrupts to tell him he and Theresa are engaged. Sarah excitedly comes to the Kiriaki's manse to stuff assignations with Bonnie. Theresa impassively sips coffee as Sarah tells Bonnie Xander tracked down Xander's mama. Theresa chokes on her coffee and nervously gates her mug. At home, Xander tells Victoria there's a chance she'll meet her grandma Cook. Noting his son's big smile, he says, "You agitated about it, huh?" "I am hysterical, that makes one of us." Further, Paul Telfer reacts to Xander killing Constantine on the phone at the sanitarium. Mark tells someone how hard it was telling his cases they lost their baby. He says they always know the right thing to say and that he'll see them tonight. Leo approaches as he hangs up and asks who was on the phone. A friend? Significant other? Leo apologizes as it's none of his business. Mark says it's okay. "It was my gal, actually." "Gal?" "Right, of course," Leo responds. After Mark walks down, Leo frowns. "Well, that answers that." Paulina comes to Chanel's room as she continues blubbing. In Johnny's arms. Johnny tells her they lost the baby. "It happened because of what you did," Chanel shouts. "This is all your fault." Johnny glowers at his mama-in-law.